Most gardeners are killing their tomatoes with this one common mistake every morning, and they have no idea. Welcome to Plenvo, where we turn kitchen scraps into garden gold. I have tested this method across multiple seasons and different soil types, and here is exactly why it works and why most people get it wrong. Most people make a serious mistake that leads to mold and root rot, but if you follow these specific steps, you will see noticeably stronger growth. Stick around, because in the middle of this video, I will show you something almost no one talks about regarding soil temperature that could save your peppers from transplant shock. First, we need to address the silent killer. Many people think they can just dump wet, soggy coffee grounds directly onto their garden beds. This is a massive mistake. Wet grounds create a thick, water-resistant crust that suffocates the soil and blocks oxygen from reaching the roots. It is a breeding ground for nasty fungus that can destroy young plants in days. That is why the Plenvo method starts with one simple rule. You must save and dry your grounds completely until they are crumbly before they ever touch your plants. Here is what most people do not realize about what is actually inside your coffee filter. It is not just caffeine, and it is not just waste. We are talking about nitrogen for strong leaf growth, and magnesium for healthy green chlorophyll, and potassium for overall plant strength, and phosphorus for deep root development. That is exactly why it works so well, especially right now in early spring. In the month of April, your seedlings and newly transplanted tomatoes are desperate for these nutrients to recover from transplant shock and start their journey. But remember, coffee is not a complete fertilizer on its own. Think of it as a powerful organic supplement that needs to be used with precision. The method I use every season to avoid the risks and maximize the gains is my specific nutrient tea recipe. To make it right, take 1 liter of water, which is about 4 cups or a little over a quart. Add exactly 2 tablespoons of your thoroughly dried coffee grounds. If your plants are still very small or you just move them outside, I recommend using half the strength for the first week to let the young roots adjust without stress. Mix it well and let it sit for 24 hours. This waiting period is critical because it allows the compounds to stabilize so the nutrients are more available for the plants to use. But here is something almost no one talks about that you need to hear before you go outside. Never use this infusion on very cold soil. If your ground is still freezing or has not stabilized from the winter, you must wait. Cold soil cannot process organic material efficiently, and you might end up with a sour patch that hurts your peppers rather than helping them. A simple rule to follow is that if the soil feels cold to your hand, you must wait for a warm spring day when the soil feels alive. When it comes time to water your garden, you must be careful. Always water with plain water first, if the soil is very dry, to ensure the nutrients reach the roots effectively. Always aim directly at the base of the plant and water the roots only. Never splash the liquid on the leaves, as this can stress the plant and increase the risk of disease, especially during the humid spring mornings. Applying this once a week provides a steady stream of energy that keeps your tomatoes and peppers pushing out new growth without the harsh chemical spikes that often burn tender plants. This is where it gets even more interesting. Beyond just feeding the plants, the unique compounds in coffee grounds can help deter some common garden pests. While it is not a magic shield, the abrasive nature of dried grounds makes it much harder for snails and slugs to crawl over your beds. It creates a natural barrier that protects your hard work while you are sleeping. Plus, there is a huge benefit for the soil structure itself. Coffee grounds help sandy soil hold onto water and help heavy clay soil breathe better. I want to give you a warning about trust and balance in the garden. You might hear people say coffee makes the soil too acidic, and while the risk is real, it only happens if you overdo it. Always use this in moderation. If you see the growth of your peppers slowing down or the leaves looking a bit pale, take a break for a week or 2. Gardening is about observation and listening to what your plants are telling you. This method works especially well for tomatoes and peppers, but I would avoid using it on plants that prefer alkaline soil like lavender or rosemary. In just a few weeks, this is what you should start seeing in your garden. Stalks that are thicker than your thumb and vibrant green foliage that looks like it came from a professional nursery. That is the result of using what you already have. We spend so much money on expensive store-bought products when the real secret has been sitting in your kitchen waste bin every morning. Using this tea regularly also brings more earthworms into your soil. These little helpers love organic material, and they will do the heavy lifting of aerating your garden for you, which means more oxygen and even faster growth. I want you to see real results in your garden this season. Whether you have massive raised beds or just a few pots on a balcony, this method will give your vegetables a significant edge. It is simple and it is free, and it reduces your waste while giving your plants exactly what they crave. Every small step we take to garden more naturally makes us better at providing for ourselves and our families. There is a special kind of pride that comes from eating a salad that you grew using nothing but kitchen scraps and a little bit of patience. I really hope you start saving those grounds today. Do not let another morning go by where you throw that potential harvest into the trash can. Set up a drying tray and get ready to transform your garden. You will see a clear difference in the health of your plants and the incredible flavor of your tomatoes when harvest time finally arrives. Consistency is the secret to a green thumb, and this one habit is the easiest way to start your journey. Now, we need to talk about the second biggest mistake gardeners make during the spring months. Coffee gives your plants a strong start, but without the next step, they will fail when it matters most. A balanced garden requires a mix of nutrients and timing that most beginners ignore until it is too late and their plants start wilting in the heat. Coffee provides nitrogen, but it does not provide everything. You need to understand how to layer your organic feeding so that your plants have the stamina to produce fruit all the way into September and October. If you miss this next step, your plants will look healthy now but fail when it matters most. When you think about your garden, think about it as a living organism that needs a variety of foods just like we do. Coffee grounds are a great high-energy snack, but your plants also need calcium and minerals that come from other sources like eggshells or wood ash. In my next video, I am going to show you how to combine these different household wastes into a complete feeding schedule that works for the entire growing season. This is the difference between a garden that looks good for a few weeks and a garden that feeds you all year long. I have seen so many people give up on gardening because they think they do not have a green thumb, but usually they just lack the right information at the right time. Most of the problems we face in the garden can be solved with things we already have in our homes. Whether it is using cinnamon to stop fungal growth or using coffee to boost your tomatoes, these simple tricks are what make gardening accessible to everyone. You do not need a huge budget or a tractor to grow amazing food. You just need curiosity and a bit of effort every day. If you found this guide helpful and you want to avoid more common mistakes that are killing your garden right now, hit that like button to let me know you're out there. Make sure to subscribe to Plenvo because we have an incredible video coming up next on how to double your pepper harvest with one simple pruning trick that feels wrong but works wonders. Share this video with a friend who is just starting their garden because we are all in this together and everyone deserves a bountiful harvest. Comment the word coffee if you have been throwing this away until today, because I am curious how many people were doing this wrong and missing out on this secret. Tell me in the comments what you are most excited to harvest this year, and if you have any questions about your specific soil type. I read every single comment because I want to help you grow the best garden possible and build a community of successful home growers. Thank you for watching and for being part of this journey. Happy gardening, and I will see you in the next one.